Hi, my name is Soumya. I am a dietitian. Let's answer some of the questions about food, health, and nutrition from the internet. Why? To get sanely thrust. So, first up, I'm too worried about my weight. My BMI says something too unhealthy. Well, what's a BMI? Body Mass Index is the abbreviation. It actually tells you if, on an average, your current weight is what somebody generally your height would have. So does it mean it's going to tell you if you're unhealthy or healthy? Not at all. Neither is weight going to tell you. If you really want to check, waist circumference is something you can depend on. Grab a measuring tape. The measurement is different for women and men slightly. So for women, it's 2 fingers above your belly button. You measure it around your waist. And for men, it is above your navel point. So women, if it is more than 80 centimeters for you, you're in trouble. And men, if it's more than 90, you're in trouble too. Why do we think waist circumference is a better measure for health? Any fat that you store in the midsection of your body automatically affects your liver. This is called the visceral fat, which is basically stored around your organs. And if fat gets stored into your liver, it's called NFALD. You get into a series of conditions. Your lipid profile goes wrong, your blood sugar level goes wrong, and the cascade continues. Can you eat too much protein? Well, yes. Before you judge, hear me out. Protein is basically amino acids. It's acidic in nature. So once you eat it, it gets absorbed and then it becomes deaminated. So the excessive protein that you've taken, the nitrogen is removed as urea. This can either get converted as carbohydrates for energy or fats. On an average, a person can generally store 1200 to 1800 calories from carbohydrates, and from fats, it's usually unlimited. Say you've had a good portion of carbs and you're loading on excessive proteins, your muscles are already filled up with glycogen. So all of this excess protein is only going to store as fat in your body. Also, if you're chronically trying to take an excessive amount of protein, you are just overloading your kidneys and maybe reducing your calcium stores. What is the best diet for health and longevity? I wouldn't call it a diet, rather a food. So eat real food, do not overconsume, and try to stick to plant-based foods. Not telling you that you shouldn't eat meat, but try to stick to mostly plant-based food. Okay, why would I say this? If you look at the blue zones or populations of people who live for over 100 years, their diet consists of whole grains, nuts and seeds, also stars, legumes, and mostly plain water when they are thirsty. These populations do not have chronic diseases either because they stick to this code. Okay, when I say that these foods are good, you might want to know why they're good, because they are rich in fiber, B antioxidants, 3 phytonutrients. All of these prevent inflammation in your body and protects you from the damage that oxidation is causing. What hormones make my body crave pizza and ice cream at 11:11 every night? It's an easy one, cortisol. I do not blame cortisol because cortisol is something that you need during the day, but can be really bad if you have it up during the night. Because digestion and hormones are interlinked. There are a lot of hormones like insulin, GLP-1, leptin, and ghrelin. All of these are meant to tell you when you're hungry, how much to eat, and what to do with the food that you eat. And if your cortisol is high, what can you do? Try to fix your sleep schedule and manage your stress. Your cortisol should be going down by evening. Your melatonin should be rising by evening. That's something a lot of us are missing out on. Why am I so tired all the time? Isn't that a good sign? So if you're tired all the time, it means that there is something wrong in your body which is causing inflammation. It also means that there is some error happening in your energy trifecta. What is an energy trifecta? It's basically your gut health, your immune health, and your hormone health. All this while, your body is trying to heal itself, and you are supposed to understand this as a sign and try to fuel your body instead of dumping in all sorts of crap. It's basically trying to reduce all non-essential activities and store some energy to try and heal itself. So you need to do what you need to do. Is paleo diet good? It's the best. But hold on. We need to compare what it used to be and what it is. This is the diet that probably kept Stone Age men healthy. 1, it did not include any processed foods or dairy. 2, they ate about 100 grams of fiber a day. 16, they ate meat that was wild. And this meat had only 7% of the total calories as fat. And this was not saturated, it was mostly omega 3s. But looking at the current scenario, processed foods everywhere. Dairy, probably avoidable. 100 grams of fiber. We're not able to make 25 grams of fiber a day. And meat, 35% is mostly saturated. Omega 3 is. Wild animals have a high muscle to fat ratio, but we are overpopulated, we are over consuming, and that's why we need to rest. And when we do this factory farming, everything goes haywire. The muscle to fat ratio goes lower because it's all grain fed and zero movement. Does the source of the food really matter? I mean, everything started from plants. I agree. The question is between what we call good food and what we call junk food or the processed foods. The thing about processed foods is that they are manipulated in every way possible. One, to keep your appetite up and going. It makes you keep wanting to have more. But try eating fruits or vegetables or grains, you will stop after some time. Two, to improve the shelf life. Yes, you might have a question about organic, we're eating herbicides, pesticides, and all of that. But weighing them, the effects are far more worse when you're eating hyperpalatable stuff that have salt, sugar, and fats all the time. Also, natural foods tend to fill you up sooner. What is all about this keto diet? People are saying zero carbs and almost all fat. How can it be good for you? Well, there is science behind keto diet. It is helpful, maybe not for you. Do you know people who have seizures? This is something that benefits them. The process where you're basically restricting the fuel to your brain, so your brain activity is minimized. This is a excellent diet where we use for children with seizures or epilepsy who are not able to respond to medications. So when you are restricting glucose, your fat starts metabolizing and it produces ketones. These ketones act as fuel to your brain and they stabilize signals that go on. This is in the case of epilepsy. You would see results when you want to probably lose weight. But if you're going to do it chronically, more harm than any good because you're going to strip yourself of all the micronutrients that you need. But does it mean you can go on a keto diet? I mean, if you are someone who wants to restrict your brain activity, go for it. How can I change my metabolism? I think it is very poor. First off, what is metabolism? It is the ability of your body to use or utilize the food that you're consuming. How are you going to use it? By movement. And what do you need for movement? You need muscle. So go build that muscle up. Get into resistance training. 2, you're eating less than your required calorie intake. Eat more. What is it going to metabolize if you're not giving it some fuel? Because if you have muscle more than fat, even at rest, your muscle is going to burn more fuel than fat. So that is it.